guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy. He is in his early 40s and is going to share his story, a quick story, about how he went from a complete and total SIMP to getting his man card back later in life. And he's sharing this story that through this, he can help a lot of guys out there not make the same mistakes that he did, and also show guys that are in the middle of making mistakes like he did, there is a way out. You can educate yourself. You can get out of your own way, if you will, and get your man card back and be the type of guy that you can have some respect for and have self-respect and all that. You're going to see this story, guys. He started off like a lot of guys, completely clueless, and was a virgin until he's like 23 years old, and wait for it, got engaged to and married a pro carousel rider with a body count that would make your mouth drop to the floor. And as you can imagine, being married to someone like that doesn't go very well. And the whole roller coaster drama there with the marriage and the kid, because they obviously had a kid together and all that. But you're going to see also, guys, he didn't learn his lesson the first time. And I'm not going to reveal how, but eventually this guy gets his shit together and is doing well. So that'll be a good one to cover here, because lately I've been doing a lot of stories, as it turns out, about a lot of boneheaded guys, and they remain in the boneheaded status. But this is a guy turn things around. It's great to hear. So it's hopeful all of you guys that are working on becoming the better versions of yourself. So he starts off, he says, Dear SSM, this is going to be very vague because I don't want to give too many details because me and this harpy actually have a decent co-parenting relationship. Translation, keep things kind of quiet, not too many details because I need more drama with my child's mother. So this is what I hope for. This is what I hope for the biggest simp you recently did a video on. He's referring to the video I did yesterday about the guy who his girlfriend wanted an open relationship after he caught her cheating on him 10 times. A lot of you guys saw that video and you just want to pull your hair out and throw your beer at the guy that story was about. That's what he's referring to. He says here, I was actually in that kid's shoes many, many moons ago. I did not lose my virginity until I was 23 years old, not because of religion or beliefs, but because I was very shy and introverted. I met Beth, not her real name, riding motorcycles. I met her in February and married her in June, the same year. Smack! You met her in February and married her in June? Okay, so February, March, April, May, June. You knew her 4 freaking months and you married her? Dude, I don't care how hot she is. What the hell? But guys, what I tell you, 23 years old, what I tell you about the guys that don't get any attention from girls, high school, college, they get to their 20s, and all of a sudden a girl pays attention to them and they're willing to get married to them in 4 months, right? And why do these girls usually do that? Because at that point they're ready to settle. They get the ring on their finger, but that doesn't mean they actually settle or commit. They just get some sucker to marry them, and they continue on with their carousel riding. Right here. First girl pays attention to him, really pays attention to him, boom. Ropes her in 4 months. Locks her down. No girl is ever going to respect a guy that would rush to getting that serious with her that quickly. Because I would tell her, he doesn't have a whole lot of options. He's not much of a prize to rush into it. Meanwhile, the guy that they would respect is the one that took their sweet time getting in a relationship with them. Now watch this. He says here, she had all the red flags that you speak of, and yet you ignored every single one of them. She was S-word abused as a child, high body count. She was 20 years old and had at best, guess, triple-digit body count. By 20 years old. Triple-digit. I don't know how she could even walk. I'm surprised there wasn't green fire coming out of her hoo-ha at that point. I don't know how you have much of a you-know-what left over after tapping that. Triple digit by 20 years old. That's a great girl to marry. Says here, hundreds of sausages by effing 20 years old. If you don't, I'm going to smack myself for that one. Yeah, go ahead, smack your younger self for that one. She wanted an open relationship on her end only, and of course, yeah, marry you, and she gets to have the open relationship. Not you, but her. And this guy went along with it. Is it any wonder she treated him the way she did? No respect and all that. Men got to have self-respect. You don't get involved with a gal like this in any way, shape, or form. He said, this is why I think I was worse off than that guy. I had a kid with this harpy. We both got into medicine, and she started traveling for work while I stayed and took care of my son. Hang on. You said you both got into medicine. I know you wanted to keep this vague on purpose. Am I to guess that she was a nurse? I did a whole video a couple weeks ago about a subscriber who's a male RN. I'm sure many of you guys saw this. Wrote in about his experiences as a male nurse. He worked big cities, small towns, all across the country, and his experiences confirmed everything, which a lot of the stories I cover. So she was in fact a nurse. Can't say I'm surprised. Fast forward, my son is 2.5 years old, and she cheated on me 2 times that I found out about, and the straw that finally broke the camel's back is she had been traveling to work and brought home her boyfriend and wanted us to live together. That goes to show she had no respect for you. See what happens, guys, when a man acts weak and is a total doormat to women, how they treat him, right? But what do all the movies and TV and the narrative say? To act that way, to be the nice guy, to put all her needs before yours, to put her on the pedestal, to act like a SIMP. And is any wonder this guy was treated this way? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying this is what happens. Women do not respect weakness. On her next trip out, I moved and filed for divorce. Initially, she didn't want the child, and so I got custody for 2 years. Then 2 years later, she came back and fought me for custody and won. Once I realized I was going to be on the hook for child support, I got a DNA test, and yes, the kid is mine. Well, thank the Lord for that. They get divorced. She didn't want the kid. Shocker. She wanted to continue her lifestyle. But then 2 years later, all of a sudden she wants to be a mom. And after 2 years having the kid, the court still took the kid and had the kid go live with her. Talk about bullshit. So you guys want to get married, remember the family courts are not on your side. He obviously was, I'm sure, back then even, and definitely now, a good dad. So she won, moved to what may as well have been a different country, Hawaii, and basically I did not see my son for 7 years. Oh my God. Just easily picked up and moved to Hawaii. Not exactly easy to get to, yeah. Expensive plane ticket. And 7 years you didn't see your son, or I'm guessing barely saw your son? If the situation was reversed and you wanted to move to Hawaii, the courts would probably have a problem with that. They probably wouldn't let you go that far. For her, it's okay. The next time I saw him was when he was 14 years old and had ended up in foster care due to her wonderful parenting. Yeah, smooth move, family courts. Her parenting led him to be in foster care. That's how bad she was. And you don't end up in foster care unless the mother is doing something pretty bad. After the divorce and talking with coworkers, we had worked for the same company, and I believe the real number of times she cheated on me was 20 or 30 times with no protection. So it was a miracle my kid was mine. That is a miracle, man. Feral cats have less partners than your ex-wife. Sweet Jesus. And I feel bad for your son, that poor kid. The back and forth. It is amazing that he didn't end up in juvie or something and have a major problems. After the divorce, which was hard on me, like the simp I was, I had made her my world and did not have a support group of friends. As Rollo said, I got zeroed out. After this, I had a huge trust issues and honesty, did not like women very much. But like the blue-pilled beta I was, I still believed in the Disney fairy tale. So, like an idiot, I got married a second time. Smack. After all that, you got married a second time? After all that, and I'm going to probably guess you didn't take much time to really get to know the second one. Bro, after all that. See, guys? People have to go through a lot of shit before they finally wake up and see reality. This time I went slower. We got married in our second year of dating. He says, I know, smack, but I didn't have the RP knowledge then. Oh, well, okay. You knew her 2 years then. The second marriage went better, but didn't end well. Well, they usually don't. The reason for that end was twofold. First, she wanted a child. I did not. In fact, I got shipped right before I divorced the harpy. So that was not an option. But the main reason is it ended had to do with me. First, I had become rudderless with no real purpose because I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had quit my medical job. I was a paramedic for the record and did not know what to do. The second hard part was I had suffered betaization, as he calls it, by 1,000 cuts. I lost my place as a leader by comfort and laziness on my part. That marriage ended with me being penniless and living on a futon at 38 years old. It has taken me 4 years to find a job that gives me the same feeling that the EMS did without the downside. So right there he said he was rudderless, not on his purpose. When a guy doesn't have a reason to get out of bed every morning aside from feeding the kid breakfast and all that, that can happen. A man has to have a goal in life. Goals, multiple goals, and a reason, something he's striving for, working better. Nothing better than self-improvement, guys. Always, you get to a place that you were hoping to be, then you find a new goal and keep moving. It makes things enjoyable. And newsflash, women, for you guys who do relationships, women like guys that are constantly trying to achieve more. Yeah, I'm not talking about being greedy a-holes, just trying to make something of themselves. Women love that because most guys don't do shit. And it goes both ways. Most women don't do shit either. Generally, people, the vast majority, the percentage out there, do just enough to not get fired. Do just enough that their doctor doesn't say they're overweight. Do just enough, you get my point. And he was just in a bad, unhappy situation. But things are getting better. He says, now I have custody of my child. I'm on to my 6-figure salary. Maybe not in 2023, but by 2024, I should be there. Sweet, brother. I'm proud of you. And I am virtually undateable by modern women. The first red flag I see, I am out. I have a job that is very fulfilling, hobbies that I love, and I'm currently trying to undo the damage my ex did to my kid and make him a functional adult. Well, you want to help your kid? He's 14? Have him start watching my material and other material like mine. And teaching your kids all the areas that you screwed up and teach him that he doesn't do those same things. That's what you should do. And get him in martial arts or boxing. Get him into lifting weights and stuff like that. That'll help him big time as well. Teach him all about the stuff I talk about. That will help him immensely. Focusing on his goals, his purpose, self-improvement, all that stuff. 14 years old, perfect time to start. He says, it's actually quite funny. The more I'm on my purpose and the less time I give to women, the more they chase me. But like I've said, I have no desire to go through all that again. Single forever. Well, bro, you definitely made a hell of a lot of mistakes and did all the things I tell you not to do. But you know what? You're in your early 40s. You're not much younger than me. Just like me, you didn't have YouTube back then. You didn't even have the internet when you were that young, just like me. But you made a bunch of mistakes, but you learned from it. You learned the hard way, but now you know. And now you wrote the story in, and now you're doing better. And by sharing this, you're going to help someone. Guys, when you write your stories in, even if it may be kind of humiliating based on your past, and you know I'm going to roast you about it sometimes, you really are helping other guys out there. And by this, you have no idea whose life you're going to affect. It could be on the other side of the world, but you are. And then you help them get their lives together, and they write me, telling me how the channel and the stories helped improve them, and I share their story, and it helps some other dude out on the other side of the world, and round we go. So keep the stories coming, guys. We all need to hear about mistakes. That's how you learn. And then hearing how guys can get past them, learn, and move on, and be doing well. But I'm glad to hear that you're in a job that you really like, that you're making good money. You're soon on to that 6-figure. That's awesome. That you now have custody of your son. And you can use all the mistakes that you made when you were younger and didn't know any better and no one to teach you to help him not make those same mistakes. And it's going to take some time getting away the bad programming that he went on, that he dealt with through your ex, because she did her damage. But bro, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. It's really, really good. And I appreciate you sharing your story, even though I had to give you a hard time about getting married so young and marrying a pro carousel ride. I don't know how she even walked with those kind of numbers she had. I don't know how you were able to reproduce by sticking your you-know-what in hers with a triple-digit body count there. Good Lord. But anyway, bro, I'm glad you're doing well. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. Give this guy a shout-out in the comment section for him learning his lesson and doing well now. And guys, you got a good story like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.